I'm back. Sorry, again. Honestly, turning off the internet and turning it back on won't work. It'll make it potentially stutter into stopping for a while, so no. I don't know. I am carrying Colamia a little bit, but I have cooled down here. Yes, I'm back. I'm very sorry. I don't know what's up. Well, actually, I do. It's probably the weather. If I had to guess. Because it's super hot outside. Alright. Honestly, I need to build a more straight way in. But I haven't paid attention to where I would need to go from. Actually, if I go F3 here, this is at 79, 1839. Yeah, 613. Yeah. I want to see on the other side how far or close I could get if I was to truly work at it. Although I'd have to go probably from over here and down. Let's see. I would need to go from... Actually, I'm still a little high. Here. About. I could do that. Not right now, mind you, but I could do that. Anyway, as we can see, like I said, I am going to go down. To show ya. And also see if I can't find some quick redstone. Sparkly, to show what I mean by I think that's the sparkliest of them all. Also, as long as we're down here, we'll have this out. Alright, so, here's the thing, as it turns out. So, yeah, you go through here, you've got this here. Oh yeah, I've marked that this is where the geo... See, this is the amethyst block. So that's why I would say that is very sparkly, and beyond that... I get to do it again. You can hear it makes pretty noises. Do I have any redstone down this way? Obviously you have gold, which has traditionally been considered shiny. I swear there's gotta be some redstone around here. But, yeah. Let me think if I could see if I can find any redstone. But basically, here's the thing. So, this is the end of this mine, right here, basically. The thing is, obviously you can see I put up this wall. You can find there's an entirely another mine shaft here. I guess there's not any redstone ore to be easily found, which is a little... I mean, it makes sense. I have to go down lower typically, but... Yeah, anyway, you can see here. And I've lit it up. So, you know, I didn't just... well, I've mostly lit it up. I think I'll just hit caps lock again. I mean, obviously I haven't got everywhere, just... I haven't had a reason to. And yeah, okay, I've been here, I just hadn't lit up the top. But yeah, I mean, you can see it's a pretty big mine shaft, honestly. It's in that it's two mine shafts, but beyond that, it's just like two full mine shafts because of the way they are, plus the caves in between. It really does make it feel extremely grandiose. And there's even a hole up top. But yeah, I mean, see, there is one. There was, it turned out, another one. Just not, like, behind a wall. Just straight out in the open. Yeah. It was quite incredible as a find. Did I put, yeah, okay, I have lit up there. I stop by, like, I stop every couple of little while and be like, did I actually? Yeah, okay, I did. 'Cause I'm never entirely certain. Like, you've got lapis, too. Lapis is certainly a sparkly block. I think. Of course, I'll acknowledge I'm not the most necessarily. But, yeah, I mean, that's kind of my opinion. You've got amethyst, which definitively at least is twinkly sounding, and one could argue is pretty sparkly. You've got redstone ore, or redstone in general, which can be quite, sparkly. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for as sparkly, I guess. Oh yeah, somehow made it up here by wandering around in those caves. Wait, what? Dragon skull? Oh, okay. If I build one, sure. I was supposed to be like, wait, what? I haven't built one. I need glowstone for that, though, and I don't have, currently a very renewable source of that. So, we'll get there eventually. Maybe I could... Honestly, my biggest issue is I don't... Because there's... I guess I could also do the glow... It's not very... It's like... There's a glow... thingy. I'm not gonna cheat. That would require me to open it to land, which I don't really have an easy way to do. Without, like... I'm lost. No, I'm not lost. I was lost for 2.5 seconds. But no, it's nothing. It's that it's not a renewable resource yet. I will have it be. I hear something. I swear, I light things up like crazy. Hello, thank you for the first time chat. Reverse the spark. How are you? Okay. Oh wait, I gotta go down. How are you this fine day? Yeah, you can hear them through walls. I mean, that's the most annoying part, honestly. Is that you can hear them even if they're, like, not even near you. Nice, that sounds like a lot of fun. No, what it means is there's caves. See, I have it lit up down there. And around. And you can see, there's a bunch of, caves. The second mine shaft simply was a lucky coinky dink. But overall, honestly, it's just gonna be caves. Because I'm in a mountain. Honestly, I'd be more shocked if there's a third full one somewhere. I mean, there might be a few more tunnels I haven't found, but that's about as close as I'm gonna get. Yeah. Sadly. Sleep. If it wasn't for that, it would... I would be, yeah, you're totally right. I can see all the caves I haven't lit up. In my lack of interest, which I have to go back up top to get the coal for, really. I mean, I know there's probably coal surrounding through, and honestly, this will be my way down. Actually, there probably is coal down here. But yeah, no. I mean, the real answer is, like, I know through here is a cave. Not here. Yeah. See, I've got it kind of lit up, but not really. Yeah, or you gotta go deep enough. I mean, that's the other place you can definitively find it, but especially while caving. But it is certainly a pain, and as I said, this is why I don't trust them with their villager nerfing they're doing. Yeah, see, there's a little bit of coal here. Is they don't really balance very well. No, that's true. That definitely does happen. And there's no other real source unless you get lucky and you happen across a mine shaft that has coal, and which means that from that point onward you do need the right, see though? There are little cave pockets. But yeah, no. And just honestly, because I mostly play on Bedrock, I'm more shocked at how much iron is just easily findable in the stone layers and stuff. So when I see people go, oh, you need to go to like Y12, it sometimes works. Oftentimes it's like, it doesn't really. So being down and around Y12 and finding iron is like, the heck? Oh. But it doesn't really make it harder is the problem. And that is a good question. Why not just do that? But honestly, I don't think it actually makes the game all that much harder. It just makes it more tedious. For me, who likes to build, it's annoying when they decide, well, this is too powerful for like this type of player, so therefore it needs to be nerfed. And I'm like, but I'm not that kind of player. So I will acknowledge that it is, I dislike very much a lot of their nerfs, because it's. Did I hear slime? Did I actually hear slime, or it sounds like slime? Is there a slime chunk? But I mean, like I said, this is why I don't. I think there is slime here somewhere. But I don't know where. But yeah, it's just like, okay, but. Oh. Oh, not even that. You have to hear a villager. I just realized I'm not sure how to get back up. Because technically, yeah, you gotta bring the two villagers potentially, or you gotta cure a villager and then bring them all the way back. Either way, you have to move them. It's not gonna be convenient. And as I've said before, I'm gonna be honest, I would think it would make more sense when they're going, oh, it's for lore reasons, if it was that the combat ones. Certainly, that would maybe make sense, but things for building would be every, like every. Oh, hello, Boop. How are you? I am lost. Where did I come in? Did I come in here? Anyway, hello. Yeah, I did, okay. But you know, like, I'm gonna be honest, to me, in a lot of ways, I'm kind of left with, I feel like, sure, you could say different combat types for different areas, that certainly would make sense if you're gonna go there. But something like, I'm glad to hear that you at least think you're good. That's probably good. Anyway, but the concept that that a place where there's not even building any villages, that they would need mending is kind of stupid. It doesn't really fit. And the only reason they're probably doing it is because they figure that would make it harder. And it's like, but that isn't the way to make it harder. Because it won't actually make it harder. It'll just make it so that the very people that they're nerfing, or trying to nerf, aren't nerfed, and the common individual is nerfed. You have a shovel. Give me that shovel. Give me that shovel. So yeah, I do. Did I actually pick it? Nope. He did not drop it. He just dropped Omni Flesh. Okay. That's fine. I need to figure out how to get up. This will work. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I am left with... It is very strange to me, at least, choice-wise, to make. And claim it's canon as well. Like, even if you like the changes, it's like... Even if someone likes it, they can't deny that for, like, a lore-wise, it doesn't necessarily make much sense. Where am I coming up? I have been here. Yeah, that's true. Cannot deny... Oh, wait, I know where I am. I know where I am! And I haven't been here in... a while. Yeah, I need to get over here. Right? Around that? Yeah, here it is. I say no, but... I mean... Yeah. Sha-sha! Yeah, I'm here. But yeah, no, I mean, it is, to me, it's like... They clearly think that, oh, this will nerf people, and it's just like, it won't nerf the people you've decided it will nerf. And instead it'll just nerf the casual player who buys your game. Yeah, it's true. An end update would be good. Honestly, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Once they, and I'm gonna say it's once they, because they're gonna bring it. They've clearly already decided this. I'm probably gonna flip to modded, because I don't mind that. No, it's fine if they're gonna do that, but then I have no real reason to stick to plain vanilla as a builder. Kind of thing. I like to build things. I don't like... I'll explore anyway. It's not... I just don't like doing things like using chunk base. And stuff, because I feel like that's more of a cheat. I mean, look. I built all this. On my own. And mostly it worked out because I had... I got lucky with a mending villager pretty early on. Heck, I've built... You could see we can't really see from up here. But yeah, no, an end update, that would be lovely. That would be great. Like, that's the basic to basics. Alrighty. It's been a pleasure having you. Yeah, that's true. No, I mean, that's exactly it. Like I said, I've got my mending villager up there, and then I'm building down here. My next city project. Yeah, I'm not exploring, but that's not because I'm not interested in it. Anyway, it's also like I don't mind some of the things. Like I don't think it's too big of a deal the nerfing of the 5. Although I don't use it, so I'm definitely not the person to ask about that. But it's like, yeah, that's fine, even though I could have sworn they fixed it back, like, when they, or to how they wanted it to be back when the, like, Village and Pillage update happened. That's the other thing I'm left questioning with that. Like, that's a bug. It's like, I could have sworn they like, fixed that bug, like, multiple times. Oh, there's a Spooter. Not Spooter, there's a Skellington. Come here. No! But he did give me loot, I guess. That's fine. Like I said, I really do go in and I play random. I got lucky that that when the new update came out, I was super close. Because, like I said, I don't play like that. If I'm gonna locate something on Bedrock, I'll just go into a separate world, but I can't really do that on here, so I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Not the happiest, but it's fair. Honestly. But I can't specifically do that. Like I said though. Fair enough. Honestly, I like having random seeds, personally. Because then I'll never know what I'll find. But that also means that, I'm not guaranteed to have any of their biomes. I get it. Anyway, like, the thing that to me makes it the worst, though, is it's like, on my personal world, not this world, I don't know on this world how close anything is. All I have some plains biomes, some savanna biomes, and that's fair. And occasionally I have, like, a desert. I think I might have a taiga somewhere, but I never actually... it's nowhere nearby. Oh, hello, chicken. So it's like... And I've never been to it, I can guarantee that. Pretty sure I just bought the trees from the Wandering Trader. In the end. Because, you know, I mean, that gives them a use. It's like... To me, I've never felt like the Wandering Trader is bad, because for me, when I can't find a desert or whatever, he sells sand. So actually, I know a lot of people are like, wow, they've made the Wandering Trader so much more useful. I'm like, no, they're making it more pain in the butt, because I use him to get sand. Like, he sells a stack to 2 stacks of sand, like, every once in a while. But since it's one of his random trades, it's not common. So the more things they add to him without removing other things, the harder it is to actually get sand. Which to me, I'm just like, that's more of a nerf. But most people can find deserts easily. I'm just super unlucky. Yeah, getting leads is also fine. But considering, like, especially when I find I have a world where I can't get anywhere, like, any of the biomes I really want. Like I said, it's a random... I like that the Wandering Trader will come in and sell me cactus or sand or saplings, because that's the kind of player I am. And yeah, I mean, after a while, I'll use him to get leads. Typically, just by sticking the llamas in the boat or just killing the llamas, because I don't really feel the need to kill him. He's like, the only time I'm even likely to kill him is when he definitely has nothing I need. I need something specific from the Wandering Trader. But other than that, honestly, he is relatively useful if you know what you're looking for. Having him sell pickaxes and stuff is honestly, one, you're going to need to have the emeralds anyway to get, and you can, yes, now sell things to him, potentially. But again, I don't... It's not as much of a buff as some people are going and claiming it is. It only feels like a buff because to a lot of people it was just useless. And oftentimes you couldn't actually buy anything. So now you can sell things so you can buy things. And that's fine. To me, like I said, though, I think my issue is when you start adding the extra things to make it more wonder. You wanting to have this guy more than like the regular villager. It's like, isn't that backwards? Also, as I've said before, I find it hilarious because somebody pointed out, considering there's so many, that some of the villagers have trades that nobody wants, that it's going to encourage killing certain types of villagers because there's no real point in keeping them alive. Considering people already had no problem killing them. This just adds incentive. So, you know, I'm kind of left with that. That's pretty funny, actually. But like I said, honestly, overall, though, I just don't understand their logic of you should be exploring more. It's like, then add things to help me find, or let me find. Or, you know, how about making it easier for people who play on the phone to say, you know, delete chunks. I've already explored out about 5,000 blocks. It's not so bad because of my specific. That's true. Fair enough. Honestly, I don't make iron farms, so it doesn't really help me. But again, that's your type. Also, I'm not sure if they're actually bringing that to Bedrock, too. Because iron farms are not the same on Bedrock. Like I said, honestly, what I'm not... This is my, just for streaming world. But I do play on Bedrock and on the phone, and you don't get an iron farm as easily. And it definitely is not... That's true. I do have those, yep. Not on this world, like I've said. This world is my just chill streaming world for building and stuff. Unless somebody wants me to go do something specific. And then I will. But, yeah, I've done everything. Just not here. It is weird that they think that, oh, you're not exploring because it's like, yeah, well... I've been to every biome. Like, cool. And honestly, many of the biomes are just not really worth going to. That's the other thing. Especially if you're starting a new world. I mean, what's the point in going to a birch forest for example, when there's birch trees in the regular forest? And the birch forest is less, like, things there. You can get pretty much everything you can get in the birch forest. You can get... Wait, what? In a regular forest. Fair enough. Alright, what was shooting me? I thought something was shooting me. Weird. But, I mean, yeah, it's like, once you get a certain number of things, there's no real point in going off and going to other biomes. Especially since the more biomes and things you go to, the more your computer gets dragged down. If they're gonna want to encourage exploring, as I've said before, I think what they should do instead is they should do updates. Like, they should just maybe do an update where they add 10 different types of trees. That could be all they add if they really want to. It'd be a themed update. And it would give more things to do. / find. I mean, oof. Yeah, I believe it. They're cute, but, like, unless you want basically 2 flowers, they're not really worth it. That's true. Yeah, how is this doing? Also, I mean... Aha! Ha ha ha. But then you'll have... I mean, but, like... And, I mean, it would seem like, yeah, you just added... But at the same time, to me at least, I think there would actually be some logic, too, saying, well, we added a bunch of trees, and the different trees do different things, maybe even, if you're going to go there. I want to do something like that. Because then you have a reason to go and find them. Or maybe they give different colors. Maybe you have one tree you add that gives a green wood. Maybe you add That's true. That's fair. Honestly, as I've said before, what I think they should do, personally, what I think would be a better update, would be to do something that basically adds something for everybody. Maybe, and I said this a while ago when I was ranting last time about this, but what I think would be a decent thing that they could do is potentially they could effectively add a new mob that you have to fight. So then the people who like to fight, they get their thing, and the people who like to explore, they have to go find it. And then for builders, it could maybe be something that, for example, lets copper age faster. Or it looks nice, or something. And then you'd have something for everybody. Pretty much. And heck, for the people who want to make a farm out of it, they can. What was over here? Oh, lovely doves, lovely doves. Where are you guys going? I honestly don't need anything to do with them. I already have to... Oh, there is you, though. Did you die? Oh, ow. Yeah, have fun with that one. Oh, there we go. That worked out for me. Sorry. I mean, that was painful, but yeah, no. That's true. That would be cool. If having the different types of swords and things, that would definitely work out well. Or having spears. Spears could be an interesting change. And I've said before, I feel like they could add, I know they don't want to, but they could add like a musket. Yeah, that'd be cool. But to me, like, here's what I'm going to explain why I think a musket would actually be good. You could have it be more powerful than, say, a crossbow, but you can have it be, like, far less accurate. That would be something that could be interesting to do. To me, at least. I mean, I know I'm just one person. So you could choose, do you have more power, or do you have, more, oh yeah. Or do you have more accuracy kind of thing? And it would actually be interesting because there's not, like, pretty much everything you can shoot. It's fairly accurate as long as you can hit, like, you know where you're hitting from the target. So a type of, like, weapon that maybe isn't as accurate but would be more strong or stronger or potentially more damaging, I think would be a pretty interesting idea. That's true. I'm just saying, because here's the thing. The moment they added a telescope, they have no right to leave the musket out. Because time period-wise, they're actually very close for a proper telescope that really, really, really works. Like the ones they're doing. They're actually far closer to being around the same time as the muskets than you would think. This is why I specifically said musket, not like modern gun. it's where I end up going to, like, it, it's very, and hey, it can teach kids about safety, perhaps, because if you can randomly, if while they're not as accurate, that would mean maybe you don't intend to hit someone and you do, kind of thing. Honestly, and yeah, they could add it to like the crossbow, but they're not gonna, because again, it would still fall under the lines of just like. As I said, the reason I was even say that is because it's like. Like I said, it is something that exists within the time period of which they're going for. It seems like more and more. Yeah. That's true, we technically have wires through redstone. Although the wires can't actually be in blocks, so... Very basic. I mean... I'm just saying, like, as an in general rule, heck, even if this is meant to be basically post-apocalyptic, which it potentially is, my argument is that technically we are a villager, I think, that's just gone crazy. I think that's what we're supposed to be, honestly. But then that would fit within the idea that it's potentially just... The world has already ended. We're just living in the remains. But, then you could still argue that quite a bit of different types of machinery could still technically exist. They just don't want to do that because that's... I don't know. I guess they feel it's not Minecrafty. And yet I can do this. But no, it is true. It does feel like, it's like, what's the time period supposed to be? And the answer is, there is no time period. It's just whatever they feel like adding. But yeah, no, I mean... It would be interesting to see an actual, like, designing a time period kind of thing wise, or just in general. Yeah, like I said, I actually could see adding a new boss. That was kind of my point. Maybe the boss, or like a proper boss. Honestly, I think that's where it really needs to be, you know? Because the Warden isn't really a boss. Because they've literally done everything in their power to make it so, oh, you can't kill this one. No, you're not supposed to kill this one. It's like, but why? Literally every other thing in the game can be killed easily. Unless it's the Wither on Bedrock. That's not. That's killable. It's painful, actually. But it still dropped a reward that was reasonable for the amount of effort required. So that's the thing. I mean, a proper boss would probably actually just drop something that would be... It doesn't even have to be useful. It just has to be, like, something that you can't get otherwise. Heck, it could just be, like... like, something you can make pet armor out of, maybe. Aesthetically. Or maybe it lets you build... Like I said, it could be even as simple as it drops something that makes copper age faster. It still have some use. That would make some sense. Like, if you're gonna have something that makes it harder, or make it impossible for the copper to age, then you should have something that makes it age faster. That isn't just putting it farther apart. And I know that basically means adding ammonia, let's say ammonia, to the game. But since ammonia exists in the real world, it wouldn't be crazy to think that it could exist in this world. But, Yeah, no, I mean, there's all kinds of things I think they could do. Or heck, maybe the new boss gives you the ability to mending too. You know, that's what they could do. They could make it like you have to get something to get like upgraded beyond that enchant kind of thing with a boss. And then that would be a legitimate reason to go out and explore without having to adjust like villagers necessarily. They aren't the most OP thing. Heck, if they really want to, they could even nerf the enchants a little bit. Maybe make it easier as well to get them from the enchanting table. Yep. Yeah, I guess you could do that. But basically you could have easily where it's like, yeah, and the thing is, people wouldn't be as upset with that kind of nerf to enchants because then you'd still be able to go get your top level enchant, maybe even it's a little bit better than the just plain old kind of thing. Whereas like maybe it's a little worse and then it becomes a little better than what it was originally kind of thing. I could see that working well, like as a concept. Oh, thank you for the follow. But, I mean, like I said, honestly, there's lots of ways they could handle making things more interesting to go out and do. Honestly, heck, you could have it be just for the Easter egg of it all. You could have it where they have to do it specifically in a birch forest, thus adding a use and being like, yeah, we added a use. If they really want to be snarky. Dragon egg on beacon in a birch forest. Could be pretty cool. But or heck, I mean, I think it could be cool to have maybe like we have like a pet update. Just in general too. Feeding pets certain things, get them to do certain things. Like maybe you could have where a cat can go along with you. The Buddha boss. Yeah, that'd be cool. Honestly, well, I don't particularly care for bosses, or for having to fight bosses specifically. I do think, rather like regular mobs, I do think that adding more regional differences to the mobs would also be good as well. I mean, well, I'm a coward through and through. I'll be honest. But having maybe like, it's not just the husk that's different in the desert. Maybe so is the, or rather the husk is a zombie variant. Maybe you have a skeleton variant that's the mummy. Or maybe, and then you could have like a frozen zombie in tundra area kind of thing as well for icy. That's fair. Well, I mean, it's fair to be that kind of player. That's why I'm saying, like, even if you're going to do something like that, something that to me would be more logical in that kind of sense. Having because it's like variant mobs are fairly popular, right? So why not do more variants that maybe do different things? Like I said, maybe here, maybe in a meadow biome like this, or cherry blossom biome, you could get a zombie. It's covered in flowers. Maybe they're like literally sticking out of it, if you will. And if you kill it, you can get either a flower or you could get bone meal. That'd be pretty unique, like a zombie that drops bone meal. It wouldn't be as good as like a skeleton, but it would also be good for people who want to potentially fight a... Because the thing is, it would be more maybe region specific. And obviously they could still drop all the other things they drop, just like the husks could drop everything else that a zombie drops, pretty much. Mummies could be similar. I mean, in the desert. You could have them drop, say, a piece of leather. Or you could add cloth to the game and have them drop some cloth. Kind of like in Stardew, but not specifically like that. Or bandage. Bandage could be like a new layer of armor that's definitely not as good as leather, but if you can't find, like if you're in the desert and you're not getting lucky with the caves and stuff, it could potentially be a way to have something until you get to that next level. That'd be a more reasonable level. And it could look pretty interesting, or if you will. So you could do that, and then that would also allow for people who are in a more... But it would just... I think things like that could be interesting. Like, if they want to add variation, which they clearly do, to some extent, seeing how some of the things they've offered in the mob votes, like glow squid, honestly, I think that they could add, like, variants to... Well, I didn't like it at the time. I didn't particularly care for the Iceologer, I'm going to be honest. But mostly I didn't care for him because of the very nature of just, like, what they were implying. Less than it being a variant. And at this point, I think it'd be fine. I just didn't think it'd be a good idea to add it with the update. But at this point, it probably would be good to add. Just so you add more variation to the Snowy Peaks. Or you can add a frozen zombie, too, to go along with your strays in those icy regions as well. Letting you maybe you could get that leather from them. Based on just in general. I mean, I could see doing variants like that and having it actually look pretty. Or fill in the game quite a lot. I just realized I forgot food. My food is up top. And it wouldn't even be too much. Rather, it wouldn't necessarily be too much. It would be an interesting thing to do, though. I honestly do think it'd be a clever way to add in extra things to do. Yeah, they could. They definitely could incorporate things from mods. I mean, considering they finally did the cherry tree, that at this point has mostly just been in mods. Yeah, the Baubles mod is definitely a cool mod I've seen. I think that it definitely would be an interesting idea. And let you add different things as well. More bosses. Honestly, they could even just add like things like but no, I do agree. I mean, I think there's plenty of things in mods that would actually be pretty cool. I mean, then also considering some of the terrain mods are like amazing. Just to add more generation and more places to explore. It really goes back to their whole thing. It's like if you want people to explore, what you have to do is you have to add reasons. You don't take away reasons, you add reasons. That way, there's more reasons to actually go. People will find ways around the other ones without actually exploring. Rather than if you add like maybe 5 new biomes that can be found, it would definitely be more like inclined to explore, especially if there's new things there, like new mobs, both violent and non-violent. New mechanics. It doesn't even have to be 5. It's just, I'm gonna be honest, the Cherry Blossom Grove is not I don't feel like it's a full biome. Not really. I feel like they could have definitively done something with it. Or more with it. But, I mean, if I'm being honest, it's like, yeah, you've got the pretty flowers, but I can't do anything with the flowers unless it's on grass or moss. So it's honestly, well, I like it for the aesthetic. I also don't like it for the aesthetic. As an example. Yeah, actually, it is basically a mountain variant, or to be more exact, a meadow variant. Considering they replaced meadows with cherry blossom groves, several, which is why on Bedrock it's harder to find a meadow biome village because they replaced those. Even as a variant, though, it doesn't feel like much of a... because, I mean, the cherry grove itself is pretty much untouched up here. And I need to get my food anyway. So I can go look at that a second. Just be like, this is where I am left with it. I liked it to some extent when they're commercials. But it felt like, it feels like a fast food, advertisement, if I'm being totally honest. Once you actually look at it. I mean, you can get bees, maybe. I've got a lot of chickens here. For a variant, other meadow and mountains will have other types of flowers within them. And you do get a few poppies, but that's actually not in the cherry blossom grove. That's actually because this is a regular meadow biome over here, and it's just going through. So you can see exactly where the cherry blossom starts. But you come down, and it's pretty-ish. But if you want to, you can't change the color of the grass, and honestly, I don't think this is the best color they could have done with the grass. I kind of wish it looked closer to like the green terracotta. Because I think it would have actually suited it well. That's true. Poppies are the easiest gate. But like I said, it's not actually in this biome. It's in this biome. That just so happens to be right next door. So technically, no. You don't actually get other flower types other than the cherry blossoms. Flowers in a cherry blossom grove. And like, I wanted to put them... I thought it'd be cool to switch up, like, the where they are. Because it's, like... Honestly, I think a color that would have actually suited it quite well would be the swamp grass color. Potentially. Or the, it might seem crazy, but it would actually probably look pretty good. Or also the, potentially the savannah... not savannah. The, like a darker version of the, mesa. I think both of those colors would actually probably be really nice. And I mean darker. I don't mean like a darker color, basically. Because I feel like having the light grass with actually makes the cherry blossoms look less dazzling when you look at them. Because the pink isn't the main... It's like, it's meant to be the main pop, but the grass is more of a pop than the flowers. At least to me. So when you look at the floor, it just looks like it's a lot of the same color, basically. Or variant kind of thing. Just variants of a tone more than that. Yeah. It's basically the same kind of thing. But different colors. I don't know how to explain it specifically. But I mean... like, when you look at the colors to, like, the stone, I mean, that actually works okay. But then it's like the grass is just... So, you know, I thought, yeah, that'd be... not this world. I figured, you know, I'd test it around on my own, like, on a creative world just to see. And it's like, yeah, these are actually flowers here. So you can't just change it to, like, terracotta or something. You'd have to, even this color would actually suit the cherry blossoms just a little bit more. But you can see here, kind of. But beyond that, there's exactly two things to do in a cherry blossom grove that you can't do anywhere else. Pick up cherry blossoms off the floor and get the wooden saplings. and I guess leaves. So I guess you could say there's technically 4 things, but most of them are a variant of one thing. That is the only thing special about this. Even the mangrove swamp had more special things to it than just get mangroves, propagules, and leaves. And mud. Because, like, you could also, you'd have a better chance of finding slimes there. And you had a better chance, or rather, you didn't have a better chance specifically of slimes, but you had a decent chance at that. Because it was a swamp. And beyond that, you had tropical fish. If you wanted tropical fish, but you weren't near, like, a warm ocean necessarily, it was a good place to go. So they did add something specific to it. But you can see here, all the, like, especially if I go down and around. Yeah, oh yeah, and also frogs, exactly. Mangrove swamps also have frogs. I mean, obviously, so do normal swamps, but it is something that you can specifically find there. But you go here, and you have pretty flowers, grass, and mobs you can find everywhere else. Not just specific biomes. And bees, which you can find in every biome. To me, that's something I think, honestly, is a failure on the part of, like, the cherry blossoms. I like the color. I honestly do like them, but I wish there were more things you could do with them. It's just another variation of wood. And I like them, like, building-wise, because, honestly, the thing I like best about them, here, I'll show you. Because it's definitely not what they wanted you to think of it. Guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. Let me pick these eggs up and throw them. I don't know. One day I might kill the chickens, but I haven't yet. And that is that, they actually match really well with netherrack bricks. Alrighty. Actually, I should probably push up soon. Alrighty. Like I said, though, it's like netherrack bricks. That's the special thing. That's where they work well. And nether colors. So yeah. Anyway, it's been a pleasure having you, honestly. And now to get back to what I was doing, because I know I shouldn't add too much. It is something to me, I think, update-wise, I feel would make more sense as updates. And I know I'm not a coder, I'm not a developer, I'm not a blah blah blah. So I don't know how hard it is to do different things. Although I can't think it'd be easier to code villagers to now have separate trades in different places than to, say, just add some new things. Heck. One of the things, as I've said before, that I'd really love to see, and I will continue advocating for this until it someday happens, but a woodworking block that lets you make the chests different colors, but you can still have your plain old chest. I'm sure it's difficult as heck, and that's why they don't do it, honest. But, like, as an option, at least. And it would also be good, because you could maybe have it where the chest is made out of 1 log, instead of 8 planks. So, you know, you could do the same with barrels as well. Like, have it be the 1 log can make a barrel or a chest. Oh, there we go. We're getting there. Okay. I need to get more, cauldrons and stuff. Because I'm slowly getting there. It's great. I'm going to have a full-fledged lava farm by the end of this whole thing. Deal. What do we got? I have more dripstone, don't I? Yeah. I have plenty of dripstone. I think I have more than enough with blocks too, but... Alright, let's go down so that we can go up. Place more blocks like this. What do I put back there? guess I could do that. Maybe I want to make more bricks real quick. Just to kind of make a little, make it a little nicer looking. As I've said, I do want the places to look good, even if I'm not specifically going in and out in that way. Is that? Hello, Hiya, how are you? I hope you're doing well. As you can see, I'm still working on these buildings. Anyway, how are ya? I hope you're having a reasonably good day. Where? Yeah, here. Time to make bricks. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're at least surviving and that you're at least doing a little better. That is good. Because it'd be more... Because I'd rather hear that you're doing better than doing worse. But I'd rather hear either way. I don't want you to just have to feel like you have to lie to me. That is the real answer. Alright. I'm doing okay. As you can see, I am working on my, lava farm. A little bit. There. So, yeah, there is that. Oops. There we go. And then I have some... I'll do one of these. Right down here, we'll just... Yeah. Not like I'm going to see down there anyway, right? Oops. I will see that, though. But I do have some. I have some. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, I'm just kind of working on my lava farm. But I hope eventually... Ooh, that sounds nice. That sounds very tasty. I hope they were tasty. Alright. There, that one, and then here, this is another one. But yeah, I'm glad to hear they were very tasty. That's nice. Dark chocolate is definitively very good. I do agree there. Oh yeah, I have the ability to do a little bit more of this. This goes here. Alright, we're gonna make a little bit of this because I do have a... Wait, is it getting dark? It's getting dark. But yeah, no, that sounds like that was nice. Fair enough. Pretty much the only time we do chocolate chip cookies in the house is if we're buying the gluten-free baking mix. Which is a lot tastier than you would think it is, mostly because to do it gluten-free is a pain in the butt. Well, I occasionally do it. Also, I'm thinking about making cake after the stream. Honestly. Gluten-free again. Which will be tasty. I have seen the game description. Why? I've never played it, but I have seen other people play it. It'd be a lemon almond cake that is, let me see. I think the game looks like it's interesting. I've never played it personally. Yeah. Alright. But I do think it looks like it could be fun. Oops. I need to be a lot more careful with this. But no, I thought it looks like it could be fun at least. Oops. I have it? What do you mean? This goes here. I'm not sure I understand. Oh. Okay. Sure. I see. So you're... Are you asking me to play the game by any chance? I am up for it. Let's see, this goes here. Right? Yeah. No, I'm not saying I would be forced to. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And this goes here. Yeah, I could. I'd have to make sure it's not like against Twitch rules, but I'd play it. Sure. I'm not against it. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, we'll have to come up with a day to play that then. Because I am totally up for it. I just... I haven't played before. Alright. So, hopefully I'm going to get more lava quickly. I mean, it's not going to be that... Oh, wait. It is quick. Why is this faster than the one in another? Not the one that's supposed to be faster. I think I just did the wrong one. Oh well. It's fine. This one. Yeah. Alright. Anyway, but yeah, no, sure. I am not against playing the game either. Right, here we go. And then this goes here. Yeah. Oh, I should see where is this going to... Yeah, okay, that's going to come up here. And that'll be good. And you go down here. And I have to make sure that the spot to go down is here. Still nothing yet. But soon. That sounds pretty good, actually. That does sound very, very good. Mine was just eggs. Or my late night snack. So yeah, that does sound good. Mostly because I didn't feel like making anything. But like I said, I do think I am going to be making a cake. The cake will be delicious. Alright, so if we do this like that, or do we do it? No. This goes here. But it can, I do know that. Which one do I like better? I kind of like that. Ow. I hurt myself twice. I broke my limbs. Just to make it perfect. But, that does sound pretty unique. I will go there. Yep, that is unique. It does sound that way. I hope it's at least decent tasting and not just like those huge pasta things. Oh yeah, ravioli is actually... Are you sure it's ravioli and not like the... what's the shape? Is it the... Because, see, there's other things that you would think are potentially... I think they're closer to being like ziti, because ravioli are... I mean, it isn't actually ziti, but ravioli is... the pockets of soft pasta that'll have a tasty filling on the inside. I know it's not specifically ziti what you're talking about. I just can't remember the name. They can be very, very, very tasty. They're similar to the giant, not like shells like the tiny pasta, but because I can't remember the names, but I do know them. Yeah, that's something else. Like I said, it's more akin to ziti. It's not exactly ziti though. I know that of what you're describing because you said they're giant. Whereas ziti tends to be longer and thinner. Or, well, they're about the same size, but ziti tends to be much thinner. And have a more triangle shape on each side. A little bit, not exactly. But I know what you've described, but I don't remember the name at the moment. Well, it depends on what you mean by big. Are they like 1 centimeter in diameter? Or are they like 5 centimeters in diameter? Which one would it be kind of closer to? Kind of thing. Because if it is the really big ones, yeah, the big ones. What you do is you add like cheese inside them. No, I get it. They're the big. I'm just making sure they aren't ziti, because then that would be more. I'd recommend more like with meatballs and a tomato sauce. But the large ones you add like. They often, I've often found that when you at least get them at restaurants and other places too, and other recipes I've seen, just looking at, there's often like cheese added inside of them, kind of. You'd have to. Because they're the ones that look kind of like cannoli, but they're definitely not cannoli. They're pasta. But they tend to have like savory cheeses. Meatloaf? Meatloaf can be worth it if you're in the mood for meatloaf. Yeah, you guys can't hit me. I'm not gonna deal with you guys. Yeah, they think they're gonna, but I'm not gonna hang out with them. Shockingly, if I can run faster than them. Problem is, I've got bad omen now. Which means I need to stay away from my village. Until I find a cow. Which will be a lot easier. Since I'm over on this side. Cow! I can't sleep till I find a cow. Please, cow. Please spawn. I only killed a few of them, but I'm satisfied with my life. Surely there's a cow here somewhere. Not this kind of cow, though. Alright. Yeah. Like I said, I think you'd have to look it up, because I'm not personally certain what they specifically are called in recipes. All I know is I've seen, oftentimes they'll either have like a meat kind of filling, or they'll have like more likely a cheese filling. And they'll taste pretty good. I mean, they'll taste very, very good. It's just... Alright, I should actually be pretty close to my own base. Still want to come across a cow, so if I don't come across one soon... Yeah, so if I was to go... I need a bed, but I don't have the ability to get a bed, so I'm just gonna have to keep running. And hope I don't die, because that's not good. Oh yeah, I could also... I have a little bit of time. go. We do this. We do this. Sleep. Alrighty. Now I need to go find a, cow. I need to keep looking for a cow, because I still haven't, gotten away yet. But I think I can find one if I look hard enough. Ignore all the steak in my inventory, but yeah. The pasta in question that you're kind of describing, like I said, I'm pretty sure that it's oftentimes like that. A lot of recipes I've seen at least. I'm also guessing because I'm not looking at exactly what you're looking at. Anyway, hopefully there will be cow. Surely there must be cow. I guess if I go this way, I might come across cow. At the very least, I might come across base. Which would solve my problems anyway. not the one base, but the other base. That doesn't have villagers in it. But does have cows. Quite a few cows, in fact. I should be getting close. You know what? I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I'm not really, but, like... Cook. Yeah, you could, probably. Anyway, I also, going back to meatloaf, I do make meatloaf on occasion, so it can be worth it. If you want it to be worth it. It's just... It is a lot of work. I will acknowledge that. Because it is. I do agree, meatloaf is very good. Like I said, I've made it quite a bit. My siblings do not care for meatloaf as much as I've made it in the past. They put up with it because they don't cook. Ah, nice. Cow! I knew there would be a cow somewhere. Haha. Now we head all the way back to base. And hope we make it. But either way, I'm carrying a bed on me from now on. Just in case. But no, meatloaf can be very good. I don't know if I have or not. I might have. I'm gonna be honest, I don't tend to like soup, so potentially not, just because I'll eat soup on occasion, but very rarely do I like soup. But I might have had it. I just wouldn't know. Fair enough. The only soup I've had that I truly, truly, really, really like ever is there's a restaurant near us that, like, once a year, or rather, that it's not once a year, it's on occasion kind of thing, but they get out it's a cheese, beer, bacon soup. Or pulled pork, actually. It's not bacon, it's pulled pork in the soup. And it's delicious. But probably because it's just cheese. So now the cows spawn. Cheese, beer, and pulled pork. Wait, am I in a different village? I'm sure it can't be, but... No, no, no. It can't be. It just looks like it's a different village. From the distance. That's gotta be what it is, right? So if I've gone around far enough to not be anywhere near my own village, I'm at a different village, I was just gonna be like, really? That does look different. Ah, nice. I'm in a different village. That does sound very good. How? I think my village is more this way. I don't understand. Oh, there's tulips. But it must be a flower forest. I don't. I have no explanation. How did this? Where am I? Yeah. Okay. I'm basically off by this. Okay. By a little bit, and I probably need to go that way a little bit as well. But that's hilarious that there's another nearby. And oh yeah, I do get it. Lots of good things in the soup that you're talking about. Yeah, you die for my food. So do you. And you heal my pickaxe too. See, I'm pretty sure that is on the other side of this mountain range that has like it should have a valley in it, but that will be where my home is. That's not the home that I need to go get the soul sand that I don't want to go do, because that's just a pain in the butt, because I don't feel like it. But I need it to make my zombie farm. But yeah, no, I do get the whole, yeah, there's certain types of soup that are really good. But notice, the thing that's like in both is like just lots of meat. Or protein, really, I guess. Because cheese. Anyway, I don't even know if people would consider that specific soup as a soup. But it was one. Alright, once I get to the other side of all of this, I should be able to see my home village. Everything is soup. I see. Well, I guess cereal's technically, if you think about it, soup. I almost died for that. Yeah, theoretically, I think that it wouldn't be soup because hot water is just the water itself. I think it doesn't still need something in it. No, soup doesn't need to be hot. So... Okay, it's over this way. Yeah, okay, I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going! Because of that stupid thing. But... it doesn't need to be hot because there's cold soups, too. Well... I don't like it. My mom likes a zucchini and dill soup that she eats cold. So there's that. I have found that sometimes tomato soup can actually be very good cold. Though not often, but, you know, I like tomatoes and it's a little bit more. But let's see. Like I said, if you want to count cereal, you could count cereal as a soup that could be cold. And I'm not saying because I have, like, I'm not saying the sugary kind, I'm saying eat Chex. I eat Chex. Cereal. Or, I'll also eat the, milk soup, yes. Exactly. Alright, now where's the banner, I guess, that started this mess? I can't carry. I got a piercing too. Or I already had that, but I wonder, well, did anything drop as I was running from these guys other than the banner? It could be banner number 3. Just the banner. But hey, I made it all the way back. But yeah, no, you could say it's milk soup. And there is an actual milk soup, though. I mean, honestly, if you really want to go there, if you're having mac and cheese, although it'd be closer to being a casserole. It's typically a casserole. But you could argue if you have, like, a lot of melty cheese rather than a more baked up casserole style, it could be soup, too. After all, basically is casserole. Do you not know what a casserole is? Yeah, it's like CASSERO. I can't remember the exact spelling, but it could be. But basically, because you use a casserole dish, I guess you could say. But you cook it in the... For a more traditional mac and cheese, you cook it in the oven in this dish. And then it has a bit of a crust to it. So it is in a casserole. I was just saying, like, the stuff in the... Yeah, a casserole. Exactly. There you go. I obviously have a very bad pronunciation. I'm not very good at pronouncing things. But yeah, no. Ah. Got it. But... Yeah, it probably translates the same way. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, a casserole. That's fair. The difference is the type of dish you typically cook a casserole in. It is similar to a stew, but it tends to be a bit thicker than stew itself. Is as well. And will oftentimes end up having a bit of a crust to it because of the nature of it. Casserole, stew, soup. I don't think there's anything else quite exactly like that. Like I said, it depends on what you count as soup. I did that wrong. Please come to me. Yes. This goes like this, and then this goes here. But I don't know what else there would be. I guess you have things like ice cream as well. I don't know what that falls under. I'd be curious. Oh, the cream soup? Let's see. No, that's fair. I'm gonna be personally honest. No, I do kind of know. I do, there's a brand we can find typically here. Although, it's a Mexican brand, so it's not gonna be exactly the same. I'm gonna be honest. It's literally named like Helados in Mexico. Made in Mexico. But I do know that they're definitely very different ice cream wise. Because ice cream is not actually always ice cream. Because there's some ice creams that are custard based. There's ice creams that are more cream based. There's ice creams that are but I will be honest. I've had something closer to that. Like I said, it's very tasty. So, you know. Yeah. That does sound about right. That definitely did seem to be what it was kind of closer to. They have them in a tube. Here. The brand that sells something similar. It's not, I don't think it's exactly the same, probably. Um, but as far as I can guess, the similarity-wise, I would assume it's probably pretty similar. And it is very good, and but it is definitely closer to being like a cream snow cone, the thing I've had, than a proper like smooth ice cream. Not that that's a bad thing. It's actually pretty good. One second, I just realized my model just a little it's starting to go way off center. There we go. But if it's anything like that one, I think I've got an idea kind of as what it would probably be like. And it's very, very tasty. I'm going to be honest. If it is like that. But no, like ice cream itself comes in so many different ways. It's yeah. It's probably closer to being like it is very tasty. It is very especially since they have a it's called from Popo, I think. I can't pronounce it. I'm not gonna pretend that I can. But it's basically just it's got like cinnamon and stuff in it. It's just it is. I would argue more delicious than some of the ice creams I've had. It's definitely better than Haagen-Dazs. But that's the closest I can think. Sorry. Yeah. No, I haven't had it in a while, but it is because the store has to have it, and it definitely does sell out. But like I said, it's the closest I can at least guess to understanding. Actually, wait, no, this is fine. Because I'm gonna have another building here. But I could be totally wrong. I mean, I'm not gonna claim I'm perfect. But yeah, no, it is, yeah. That is true. It is interesting. Honestly. Hey, yeah, I guess it is a little, at least, again, it probably is, because, I mean, I guess it's more similar to, like, again, the cane sugar kind. It's gonna probably be closer to the cane sugar style, which they don't do in the U.S., which ironically makes it taste somewhat sweeter, but actually tastes better and be less bad for you overall, interestingly enough. Because corn syrup is really bad for you. But, yeah, I mean, I can guess it, like... I've had cane sugar juice before, by the way. It's been many, many years. But, I have had it before. So I do kind of know what you mean. I was very little. Does it? Because, I used to live... For a time, I lived in Alabama. And there was a sugarcane thing there. I don't remember the exact, because I was pretty young, but I do remember the taste and stuff. But, again, our house, we have to buy what we typically buy, I mean, honestly, the only ones we really get are, again, the Mexican cola, specifically, Coca-Cola. No, that's exactly what it was. It's just, it's been many years, because it was a festival thing, I think. I don't remember the exacts, because it's been many, many years. I'd have to ask my mom. But it was that kind of thing. Where that you had that, but Yeah, it was, but it was because it was specifically like that's what they were doing. But I don't remember the exact details other than that. Other than Alabama. Um. By the way, Little Sis has never lived in Alabama, so that should tell you how long ago this was. Okay. So I don't remember the guy, but I do remember that they did actually fresh squeeze it and stuff. They also had a instead of like a normal carousel, they had like a donkey or a pony. Fair enough. Like I said, it has been a long time. But what I was going to say is, considering I have a corn allergy, and I do need to avoid it more often than not, if I can. Yeah, exactly. Many, many, many years ago. Almost, well, yeah, like, it definitively would have been over 19. I'm not even sure my little bro would have been born. Only reason I remember is because I have a pretty good memory. And it's just one of those things I just randomly remember, even years later. But yeah, it's like the last time I remember. It's the one and only time I ever did something like that. Specifically, that's why I probably do remember. But yeah, like I said, it's been a long time. Instead, that's true. It can. I was stupid there. That is true. It is very, very cool. All the things you can remember. Like that. Although at the same time, it can be very frustrating. Because like, if you remember the flavor of something and then it's not that. That can be very, very, like, I remember how it's supposed to taste and this in it. Is this it? I think so, yeah. Cool. Another one. Alright, let me see. I do probably want to maybe also set up gypsum. Oh, that's true. Remember something that's no longer made. That is definitely the case. Or even if it is, it's just... I mean, heck, even if you're going to go into, like, sounds, it's like remembering a show many years later and being like, I swear that show existed. I know it did. I know my friends, but they don't remember it. It's like you find that show. Somebody remembers it and it's like, I don't feel I'm glad I'm not crazy. Lovely. Let's see it. Other flavors. I mean, fair enough. I guess in my example would be there was this. I don't actually know if it's made anymore or not, but I definitely can't get it anymore. But it was this candy that was basically a sweet tea kind of candy, hard candy, made from tea. That it was really crazy weird, because like you would suck on it and it really would taste like you're like having a sweet tea, but it's a candy. And because it was like a hard candy, it actually like yeah. It was definitively unique. They also did one for like coffee, and one that had like a cream center for coffee as well. So they had like an espresso, and they had a a cafe latte. I don't remember the brand's name anymore. It's been many, many years. I just remember the flavor because I was just like, it was super crazy. Because it wasn't even presenting... The thing is, it was just because randomly the store that in question got it continued to sell it, kind of thing. But it wasn't even, it was just like, it was an imported candy. From what I remember, and yeah. But it was definitely unique. It's been many years, it hasn't been as long as, like, the sugarcane kind of thing, but it has been a very long time. What is your random question? What food do I not like? Well, I mean, soup. I think I've already gone over this. Like, especially, I especially dislike minestrone soup. What else do I not like? Well, I don't like things with strawberries because they'll kill me. Because there are things I don't particularly care for. I just have to think of them. Sure, my mom would be like, "Oh, you just like eggs," and I'm like, "I just ate eggs. Stop telling me I don't like eggs." Sorry, that's a personal thing. But let me see. Just what I have not liked before. Applesauce. I don't particularly care for applesauce, mostly because. I see. Well, I don't tend to have cornbread very often. It can be okay, but it's definitely not the greatest, especially considering it's not. It leaves me feeling ill. So that's a very specific, like, I really can't eat it more than I don't eat that one, the cornbread. So I don't know. Like, I've had it on occasion, but not very often enough to say I definitively like or dislike. But I would say applesauce. I don't particularly like apples in general. Cornbreads. Well, they have been very moist cornbreads out there too. It's just, it is more. I will state, the few times I've seen a more moist, if you will, cornbread, it tends to be more. It has to be fresh and has to be like a. No. Applesauce is like pureed apples. I don't particularly like a lot of appley things. I mean, I like, I guess, pink lady apples, but I don't tend to like apples. But applesauce is more specifically because that's fine. I'm not, I'm not judging, like I said. But no, for me, basically because I didn't want the applesauce that day, I traded it with something else for someone else or something. Yeah, that's true. But then they weren't expecting to be unsweetened applesauce, and they ended up spitting it out. It's basically just pureed apples. That's about as good as I can explain. It sometimes has cinnamon in it, or corn syrup, or honey. But yeah, basically it's just mashed up apples. I guess we call it. You could think of it like an apple soup almost. If you want to go there. It's not specifically bad. I definitely cannot. I cannot keep it in my mouth, mostly because I still remember them spitting it out, and it makes me go. Ugh. And then handing it back, and I was just like, why? Yeah. So that's my answer. Is there's applesauce, but that was a very specific. And I've never truly liked apples too much. Other than, like I said, I like the pink lady apples, but it's a specific kind of apples, to I guess, explain. But overall, most types of apples I don't particularly care for. Yeah. I've tried, but it's just... Fair enough. Honestly, though, those green ones? I mean, there's a lot of green fruit. And it's a fruit, you said? Not a vegetable? I can think of plenty, That's fine. That does not come into the household, really. It could taste okay. I'm just checking. Is it like the guayusa? Or... yeah, is it like guayusa, which can also be called the alligator apple and the custard apple? More common? Pear? Is it pears? Possibly? Pears, got it. Pears definitively need specific... I will say plain pears can be quite, bitter. Sandy texture. Yeah, so you'd probably prefer, like, something closer to, like, if you were to have pears, like the super syrupy pears. Probably actually not that either. Pear pie. Or, it's not exactly a pie, but a pear cobbler can be less sandy. Oh yeah, there's another type of thing that's kind of like soup. That's not a casserole. I just remembered one. Cobbler. But that's dessert. Cobbler is dessert. The pear texture can definitively be a little weird. I don't disagree on that. Plus, if you have just plain pear without, like, doctoring it, it can be a little bitter as well, because the skin can get a little bitter. So I'm not disagreeing. You at least need to, like, peel them, and then beyond that, you might as well just stick them in the syrup, the sugar syrup. And they don't come into this house anyway, because my mom really shouldn't have them. Yeah. I mean, so I'm not going to disagree on that one. I think they can be okay. But they can be a little weird if you're not, like, in the mood for that kind of flavor. And willing to put up with the texture. Let me see, what else have I mean, that really is where it goes down to. Let me think. What other things do I not particularly care for? Like I said, I don't like soup. I mean, that really does cut a lot out of the diet, but, I tend to like most... I don't know. Honestly, I'm sure there's things, like, if I'm not looking at them, but... Otherwise, I mean, I tend to be willing to eat most things, unless... Oh, I have thought of one. Okay, two things. Celery and cilantro, but that's because they make me very ill. Again. Especially celery. I really can't handle celery. I'm like one of those people who has the cilantro taste like soap. But the celery's worse for me. Because, honestly, it makes me ill. Like, super ill. So that's one. But again, it's not so much that I dislike the flavor of celery. I mean, I kind of do, but it really is more along the lines of, like, for example, there was one time where I ended up getting a drink. I didn't realize there was celery in it at first. And basically, I determined I was going to try and finish the drink. Because I had gotten it, and, you know, I couldn't. I literally was just... Yeah, celery is very fibery, but like I said, that's not my real issue. My issue is, I don't think I'm allergic to celery specifically, but I definitely cannot, I definitely can't just, like, have it. It's not, um, it is from a, it's not from a texture point of view, it's from a, it makes me reflux, I guess, is a potential way to think of it. It's also probably why I dislike minestrone soup, and many types of soup, actually, if you think about it. It's not so much the soup itself, as much of the fact that, it typically, if it's a soup, it'll have a lot of celery. But yeah, I mean, if I was to say anything, I think that's definitively something I can't. Oh yeah, there. I cannot stand. I have tried to. I honestly have tried to. It makes me sick. I don't like feeling so ill just because I had something like celery. But you know, like I said, I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons ow, I don't like soup, because many soups do in fact use celery, which is unfortunate. And that's also why I tend to like soups that, if I like a soup, it tends to be things that don't use it. But yeah, honestly, that's one of the big things though for me, I think, is just that. I've even tried to like it in the past. I couldn't. I honestly couldn't. Which I do end up feeling bad because then I'm like, I've gone on my way to get something and it's just like, no, I can't really eat it. But I try. I typically do try. And I eat until basically I'm right before I'm gonna throw up, and then I'm like, I'll eat till later if I go back to it. Because I do feel like I should try and eat it, because it's like if I it's bad to waste food. Though I suppose it would also be wasting food to just throw it all up. It's just on the floor. But that's not appetizing sounding at all, I guarantee. So, let me think. Other than that, I think for the most part, I tend to be okay with a lot of different types of food. Overall. There's nothing too... Nothing that I wouldn't eat, if you will. I mean, there are plenty of things that I might not particularly care for, but I'll eat it just the same. If it's, there. And there's plenty of things to also enjoy in the world. Like, there's, well, of course, chocolate. But, you know, I mean, and rice cereals. I honestly do like a lot of rice-based cereals that don't necessarily have sweeteners to them. Sweeteners can be nice, but honestly, just the plain is pretty sweet. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where I go with it, the food overall. I think the things that I really like are things that tend to be considered pretty weird. Sometimes. Like, I actually quite like Brussels sprouts. They don't need bacon either, or anything. They're fine, plain. As long as they've been steamed or just cooked properly. I I'm just saying, like, in general, I'll put, like, Brussels sprouts. Not that it's, like, yeah, see? Yeah, I'm right. I like weird things. Okay, cool. Let me think. I grew up on, like, eating peas. Alrighty. It is weird that I like Brussels sprouts. And I've liked them since I was little, too. Here, that's actually a thing in my house. That, like, my siblings really don't like them, too, so... Oh, I just realized why I'm not getting more lava. Ah... Great. Maybe I'll actually start gathering some lava. Ow. But yeah, no, I mean, there's that. I'm okay with asparagus. Green vegetables are not, like, the most evil thing to me. Honestly, I do enjoy a good, oh, I just realized where this is to go. So this will have to be removed here. Oh, is this a problem? Yeah, okay. And then this will go up here. But yeah, no, I mean, I've liked things. Which ones? Brussels sprouts? Brussels sprouts can be very good if you, even if you don't like them particularly on their own, if you cook them certain ways. For example, if you add, I mean, bacon always makes Brussels sprouts taste better. Maybe don't steam them, maybe instead you oven roast them. That can actually help a lot if you don't like it. One way I found that's actually particularly good is if you add like a balsamic vinegar glaze on top of them, kind of thing. That can actually be quite tasty. Shockingly. I think, what else? What other ways have I had decent Brussels sprouts? Cheese. Obviously, you can cover them in cheese. I'm not particularly fond of that method, but, you know, I mean, there's plenty of people who will do that. A weird one that I've had that weirdly worked very well, or that was a weird thing, but it actually tasted pretty good, was chocolate-covered Brussels sprouts. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Honest. I just... It wasn't bad. Honestly. And I was kind of... I mean, that's one of those ones you expect to be bad. There we go. This is officially done. So, it's like, don't knock it. Because it is one of those weird ones. Yeah, that's true. Cheese is one of the most common methods. I won't deny that. To cover the flavor. And honestly, it's kind of hilarious because, like, there's a lot. I would personally argue, I'm not the one, obviously, normally, but I would personally argue there's plenty of ways, or vegetables that taste fine without cheese. You don't need it. Like, broccoli is fine. If you steam it especially, it actually makes it taste very, very good. Just don't over steam it. But like a light steam makes it crisp, but not too crisp, and actually helps alleviate some of the other flavors. But then you just add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. It's nice. Actually, you know, I guess the one like type of meat I really dislike. Actually, I don't dislike chicken. I don't care for chicken, but I don't dislike chicken. I mean, that's the thing. No, you don't shrivel up your broccoli. No. What you do is you just lightly steam it. Honestly, you can buy a steam bag and just from like a Walmart or wherever, or Winn-Dixie or Publix or wherever you go. And they'll have like literally ones that you can steam in the microwave like for a minute and a half or so, and then it comes out pretty perfect when you do it third time. Maybe a little bit less time, but then you add salt, yeah, pepper, and it's actually a very good way to have just a little bit of greens when you need greens. I have a feeling you'd like the way I keep carrots, though. Fair enough. And of course, then you can douse them in cheese, that's fine. But, yeah. Carrots, let's see, in this household, typically I make them candied. Just because it's easy. And, I mean, if you're gonna have a vegetable that's... it's not that it's a bad vegetable. In our case, we tend to have lots of gluten veggies, but the thing that makes candied carrots so good, it's like, why wouldn't you do it? It tastes good. Let me see. I don't know. You know what candied carrots are, right? I hope. Or do I need to explain this? Because I can. You'll actually try candied carrots. Basically what you do is you get butter, you get brown sugar, and you get a bag of carrots. And you take the butter, you cook it up, you heat it up. You can brown the butter. In fact, I recommend it, but don't burn the butter. Brown, not burn. Then you add in the brown sugar and a little bit of milk. And then you add in the carrots, which, if they're frozen, will add a little bit extra liquid as well. And you just let them cook until they basically have this just syrupy, basically it's a caramel around the carrots. Almost. That sticks to them. And then you have candied carrots. It's very easy to do. It's also very easy to mess up, I guess, but, like... you could just cook them on, like, a stovetop. Fair enough. But it's a very, just, if you want to do something that feels a little, like, luxurious kind of thing, and a little bit, it is sweet, definitively. But you just kind of want something like that. That is a way to do it. And just have it, basic. It is very basic, honestly. To cook. I mean, not that it's basic to just... I'm not gonna say that, like... Anyway. It's things like that. Honestly, I do... We don't do a lot of vegetables in the house necessarily. We try to, though, and there's ways to cook things. I mean, if you want to have some mushrooms, what you do is you cook it up with the meat, and then the mushrooms just taste like the meat. Simply put. Add a little bit of onion as well. It's tasty. Especially if you put it on rice. Because that also helps hide the texture of the mushrooms if you don't like the texture. See, I have little tips and things for just, like, I have found cooking for very, specific ways.